Leo, welcome to your weekly sidereal forecast from May 25th through the 31st. My name is Athen. So we have an important week. We've got a lot of these conjunctions here in your 10th house involving Mars, the Sun, and Mercury here, squaring up to the North Node here, who's been in your, squaring up to Neptune, who's been in your 7th house. So there's been this trust and flow and surrender with things relating to relationships, trusting in that area, and going with the flow with those things. It'll be very important this week to bring in all of that trust and flow into the 10th house matters with all of this activity here. Starting on Monday, Mars will be squaring up to Neptune. Then over the weekend, the Sun will be squaring up to Neptune with Mercury in between. So it's all week involving that. So first of all, the Sun and Mars do like to be in the 10th house. So I think things are in high gear in terms of perhaps the work, career, public-related things. I think you're reworking some of these things right now, which is very good, and that's good to continue to do that. So that there with Mercury in particular is, just it's flowing with it, and it's through that flow you'll find that things are unfolding, and then there is this process, and it's just kind of like you're just flowing with the river, and you're just going around the rocks and things like this that are helping you go down the stream versus trying to control it too much. You see what I'm saying? So that's going to be supportive if we flow with these 10th house matters in particular, because you'll find that very constructive, and you actually might find you actually do get a lot done or achieve a lot involving these things. Now, it's involving a lot of different areas of your life because these rule different areas. It's involving home and family, also your philosophy, spirituality, involving Mars ruling both your 4th and your 9th house. It's involving groups, communities. It's involving your finances as well, or resources, with Mercury ruling your 2nd and your 11th. And of course, it's involving you, which is your 1st house ruler, which is all about your self-expression and who you are. So flowing with those things, very, very important. It starts on Monday when Mars squares up to Neptune. Now, also on Monday and Tuesday, Venus is going to be squaring up to Uranus, who's been transiting your 8th house. There's been a lot of transformations and changes involving the deeper side of life, what's really meaningful in life with Uranus in the 8th house. That's where the eclipse was for you, squaring up to Uranus from Pluto, all of that March, especially energy in your 8th. So it's been very freeing, I think. There's been a transformation for you guys in many ways. And so that freeing energy is being activated in the early part of the week from Venus. Now, because it's a square, it's very important that you don't make any sudden changes, you don't just make any rash decisions, because that can sometimes be the case with the square up to Uranus like that, maybe involving work, maybe involving your communications, or things relating to groups and community-related matters. So just in general, just keep it nice and grounded Monday and Tuesday. And if you have been thinking about making change, it is a good time to do that when you're taking it slow and nice and constructive, which is, of course, how we want to utilize that square up to Uranus energy. Now, Tuesday and Wednesday, while Mercury's retrograde, he's going to be going over Mars. So I think their early part of the week is when you're really going to be learning a lot about the perhaps home and family side of things, and maybe even the travel or expansive side of things too. And it's all happening in the sphere of things relating to your big picture plans, or your big goals, your things relating to work as well. So with Mercury retrograde, it's important we do learn, and we treat it as a learning process, and in this sense has a lot to do with those areas. So that's going to be the early part of the week there. And then Wednesday and Thursday, Venus will be trining up to Chiron. So things are actually supportive with relationships here, especially Wednesday and Thursday. And I think there's been healing taking place through your one-on-one connections. And so I think there's going to be some nice healing there. I think you'll feel quite revived and rejuvenated, and maybe even in the work sector, career sector, or your communication sector, which is what Venus rules here. But again, all happening with this enjoyment perhaps that you guys have been able to have through the enjoyment of your work, or through connecting to network circles, things like this with Venus in the 11th has been certainly the opportunity for you. Now on Wednesday through Saturday, so this whole second half of the week, because Mercury is so slow, his aspects are very, very long. So he's going to be squaring up to this Neptune. Okay, so here, especially relating to how we're thinking about things, how we're communicating, again, just flowing, trusting, going with the whole divine process, especially things relating to, again, the 11th house, which is the groups and friends or community related things that you're reworking or rethinking right now, and the financial side of things, which maybe you're rethinking and reworking right now as well. So just trusting, flowing with that is going to be especially the emphasis for the second half of the week. Now, over the weekend, a little more personal for you Leos, the sun's going to be making some aspects. Mercury is then going to go over the sun. Now, Mercury's closer to the Earth here, so it's not combust. So what's nice about this is I think you'll be thinking clearly. I think you have a good rational faculty of things relating to the career and work side of things. Now, but in front of your sun here, it's very important that that you understand about your passion, what it is that you really enjoy about work, what is it really excites you. Find that over the weekend. I think that can be very, very supportive. Now, it's supportive to your life path because all of that Mercury and your ruler sun energy is trining up to the North Node over the weekend. So the key here is that this whole year has been about increasing your self-reliance and your perhaps resources or finances and material abundance. So you have the flow there. That's what this whole life is about with your North Node here. So it's supporting this through your, reflecting on and thinking about, that's so important to have that passion and zest and excitement in what you're doing and what you're involved with in the 10th house or career related side of things. So I think all of that stuff should flow very nicely over the weekend. Again, just keep it nice and balanced with the square up to Neptune, because it will be important to just trust, flow, and remember that there's a whole process unfolding, especially relating to your one-on-one connections through maybe the career side of things. And in that way, you're developing this sense of tranquility and ease and peace in the whole process, which is unfolding for you and really is the greatest lesson that we're all learning this week. So, Leo, I hope you guys have a nice week. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you're new to this form of astrology, do check out masteringthezodiac.com, or if you'd like a personal session. And I will see you all next time. Take care.